You've spoken with Davis, and you have kind of any update on how he's doing right now?
I have not. I'll see him when he gets to practice, so we'll kind of figure it out from there and see what he can do this week moving forward. But I'd say as of now, he's day to day.
What is the injury? I mean, I know he had a bad left ankle for a couple of weeks. Is it the same thing?
I just heard an ankle injury. That's all I know at this point.
Do you know if he's able to weight on it or anything like that?
No, I know he was in there rehabbing this morning and has basically been doing that for 48 straight hours. So.
Have you not spoken to the trainer since the end of the game?
I have.
For expectation for what?
Yeah. Basically, let's see how he responds, and we'll go day to day.
Is there a threshold of his ability to move around that you know already that will mean he won't play?
Yes. I mean, he's got to be able to protect himself and move around and escape the rush. And if he's not able to do that, then we'll go with Patrick.
What was your assessment of Patrick's play on Saturday and the kind of getting thrown in the fire once again?
Yeah, not bad. It's tough when he hasn't had an entire week and the game plan's not tailored to his skill set and what he does best. But I thought he moved around on some things, kept some plays alive. There at the end, we really were trying to run the ball more than anything, get out of there. But I thought that he stepped up and made a nice play on the touchdown. I know he has one throw he'd like to have back.
Because of that, are you thinking you'll make a decision pretty early in the week, so if it is Patrick, he has as much time as possible?
We'll just try to up his reps and see. But other than that, either one of those guys will be ready to go.
Adjustment for Patrick if he is due to start in terms of the offensive plays?
A little bit. We'll probably bring it down, just do things that he really likes and is comfortable with.
There have been some frustrating games this season. As a competitive athlete who's played as quarterback, have you ever thought, gosh, I wish I could go out there and suit up myself?
Yeah, a few times, but that's part of the growing process, and I went through it. Everybody goes through it, and we just as a team are going through some things right now and have to continue to work hard and clean a lot of things up.
Hey, Coach, real quick, going back to Mahomes, what is his strengths as far as game plan is concerned?
Yeah, I think Pat does a good job. He's an accurate passer and does a good job extending plays with his feet. I think that's something he really excelled at in high school and has continued to do that in our system.
It's on Jakeem and Bradley and some of the guys that.
Yeah, I'd say Jakeem and Bradley I'd put them as probable for this week. I think they got banged up a little bit, but it was the same injuries they had going in, so I think they'll be okay.
Did they practice Wednesday, Thursday last week?
I believe Jakeem did. Yeah, they both did.
Have you looked at Texas much, and can you talk to us about your concerns or the things you feel good about going into the game?
Yeah, they're a talented football team. I think you turn on the BYU game and then you turn on some of these later tapes, and they've improved tremendously on both sides of the ball. I think the quarterback has grown a lot. I think last week's score was a little deceiving because they turned it over, had some drives going, and kind of sputtered out. But offensively, he's been a lot better. The receivers are making plays. They're always going to have good running backs there. And then defensively, it's a group who you watch the Baylor film, and they got after him up front. They had a great game plan and went stride for stride with those receivers. So very talented as always, and we'll need to play very well to compete with them.
If there is a situation for Mahomes to have to be your starting quarterback this weekend or incoming weeks, are you confident in his ability to lead the team?
I am. We played with two true freshmen last year, and so he's done a good job working, and we've talked about him needing to be prepared each and every week because he was the backup from day one, and so I'm very happy with his progress, and I feel like he'll do a good job if he's called upon.
Your experience with mobile quarterbacks is getting them kind of out on the run and maybe absorbing one of those hits or quick draw, getting them out there. Does that kind of help them get accustomed to the speed of the game and get them comfortable?
That's their safety net. Any young quarterbacks getting outside of that pocket and making plays, and so we'll see. He's done a good job really working his pocket presence all camp, but if he were to have to go in, kind of like you saw on Saturday, he'd run around, try to extend some things, and go.
On the other side of the coin, you're going to probably anticipate that from Swoops as well.
Yes, he does a good job with it, and like I mentioned earlier, I've been very impressed with how far his throwing's come from week 1 till now. I mean, he's really improved as a thrower.
How satisfied are you with the secondary? It seemed like those guys battled all game, but kind of boy can just put the ball in the right spot. Talk about the secondary play.
Young, growing up, I thought TCU's receivers were really good. Probably the fastest, best group overall we played, and Boykin made some great throws and let him go get it. So it's been baptism by fire. It's a young group of DBs, and they have to keep coming along.
Given kind of some of the struggles of this season and the struggles against Texas in the program's past, 2 wins since 2002, how big would a win against them on Saturday be for these guys?
Where we're at, any win would be good. It's been one of those years where any win is good. We're not a good enough team to look past anybody or not play well against anybody to get a win at this point.
What's the mood amongst the players? I heard that on the conference call this morning you said that they were pretty embarrassed. How difficult will it be to get them back up?
I don't think it will. I mean, having this opponent come into their house helps. And, we've moved forward. There won't be much discussion about this past game because I just feel like the best thing right now is for us to move forward and focus on Texas.
DeAndre Washington made a comment that if you're not excited to be pumped up for this coming week, you're in the wrong sport. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
I think anytime these kids get to play against an in-state school, they're excited about it. They know these players from high school and playing them before, so I think that's what he was referring to.
Obviously, you're still really young in your head coaching tenure. After the season that we've seen, and then of course the game on Saturday, what have you really learned about being a head coach?
I learned a lot each and every day. I think you learn from the wins and the losses, and so we'll just continue to work hard and do the right things and stay positive, and that's what we've been doing.
Do you expect to go out and play Saturday?
I'm not sure. He obviously wasn't able to play this last week, but hopefully we'll get him back. We're not sure yet. We're going to get him out there and see how he feels.
Was he close to playing at all on Saturday?
Not this past week, no.
Rashad Fortenberry,
He was out with, it looked like back cramps from talking to the trainers, and I think he should be back on Saturday.
the offensive line played after he was out and had to make the adjustment and replayed on that side.
Not bad. I thought Balin battled for a position that he's unaccustomed to playing. I thought he stepped in and fought, and that's what we were looking for out of him, to give the best effort he could.
You have Justin Murray and a couple of those guys there. Did you ever think about burning his redshirt and playing him at tackle?
At this point in the season, we were trying to do right by those two and keep the red shirt on them. But, you know, if there were any more injuries, that may be something we have to do.
Have you had a chance to talk to Stidham about his surgery this morning, his injury?
No, just before the surgery, but I haven't heard how it went.
Just having that broken bone in the hand, how tough is that for a quarterback trying to throw the ball and throw it accurately and all that?
Yeah, I haven't talked to our doctors. I think it'll be a full recovery. I think that's a surgery they seem confident in. He'll come back and won't notice it.
He should be back by time we start spring practice.
Yes, from what I've heard.
Coach, anything different going into the game plan this week, facing Texas? Got to be, anything different you're going to do because it's Texas?
Just hopefully not turn the ball over. You know, that's been our aim here recently. Since we've been in conference play, we've been really bad at turning the football over, and we have to improve that.
You look at the scoreboard, they put up 82, and a lot of times the defense gets blamed for that. But do you feel like that stretch kind of in the second quarter, they played well enough to kind of give you guys a chance to hang around and be in that game during that stretch for the second?
Yeah, I thought it was going back and forth there for a little bit, and then we had those turnovers and come out the second half, and we don't handle the kickoff, and then just kind of went from there.
anything that Kansas State was able to do to kind of contain with running backs like Brown and Gray?
Having played K-State, they have a really good defensive line and good linebackers and a good scheme, and so I'd have to credit them with just the way they do things more than anything.
On that scout kickoff that you mentioned that y'all had difficulty fielding, was that a miscommunication or what happened there?
It was. We just didn't attack the football, and we had some substitutions, and just didn't handle it.
On the play where Justice got called pass interference on the pass by the punter, did you ask the Big 12 or someone to look at that play?
Yeah, we'll send in plays every week. I haven't got the results back from that yet.
Have you reached out to any of your coaching mentors or anybody outside the program this week for maybe advice on how to handle this week with the team as far as practice goes, getting the players back on the right step, and then just for yourself in general and handling a tough season?
Yeah, I talked to a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends in the profession, even guys on this campus throughout the year. So just kind of part of the coaching fraternity.
Coach, Texas says, they got some guys with experience, but also they've been having to put a lot of young guys in similar type. Do you sense that the programs are kind of at a similar stage, kind of in the curve of their program with just the ebbs and flows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with them as a program. I do know Coach Strong has made some changes down there and is really putting his impression on the program, and he's been successful everywhere he's been, so I'm sure he's got them heading in the right direction.
Fan standpoint, how nice is it having this game at 6:30 instead of 11 a.m.?
I think it's good for the fans. I think allows some more tailgating time, especially with Halloween the night before. I think that the later kickoff will definitely have them fired up.
With your history against this program, is there kind of an extra sense of motivation for yourself going up against this Texas team, or just the school in general?
No, I don't think so. I think, like I said, at this point, with the way our season's gone, just trying to get a win any way we can is where we're at.